G'day guys, Marcus here from Get Car Tech. Today in our workshop, we've got a 2009 Subaru Impreza. We're going to be installing our wireless CarPlay and Android Auto system, and it's going to take us just over half an hour. These Subaru Imprezas are really basic and super easy to work on. We don't need any special tools, and we're going to take you through the journey with us. Now, these Imprezas come with a range of different radios. This customer specifically has already had a single DIN Pioneer unit installed, but if you're worried about compatibility, just reach out to our customer service team and we'll make sure we match you to the correct parts to ensure you retain all of your factory functions. We're going to be retaining the factory steering wheel controls here today, and we also ship out reverse cameras with our units if you want to install an aftermarket reverse camera. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's get this radio out. This customer has an aftermarket radio in their Impreza already, but that's not going to change a whole lot. These are really simple to disassemble. We're going to use our trim tool to pop one of these corners off. Now you can come from the underside because these are quite flush, but all you've got to do is free up one of the clips and the rest will come like that. That's our AC and fascia piece from the original system. Now we're going to need to remove a couple of screws over here to get this aftermarket Pioneer out. All right, we've got an impact driver with a Phillips head bit, and we've also got a magnet tool to catch some of these screws. And there's only 4 to remove here. And we'll catch them with our magnet just to be safe. Now, by no means do you have to use power tools here. We just use them in the workshop to make things a little bit quicker. All right, all 4 of those screws are out, so we can pull out this entire assembly back here. Now, who knows what the last owner did to the factory harness, but hopefully it's intact, so we can show you just how easy these Imprezas are. That's our radio antenna cable. We've just popped that out of the back of the system. Now, we can see some stuff going on here with the previous owner with some harnesses for the Pioneer system. We're going to want to detach this at the point downstream or upstream of the factory harness. All right, that's the old system removed. We're going to transfer over those air vents that we removed earlier to our aftermarket system, and then we're just about ready to put the new system in. All right, to make it easy, we can place this unit sort of like this on the top of the dash, just temporarily, and we can use that to make it easy to make our cable connections. If you have someone helping you out, by all means, you don't have to rest it on the dash like I am here. We're going to plug our main connector in, and we want to make sure that clicks. We're going to push that all the way in, which it has. And then we're going to plug our microphone cable in. And now the last 2 left are our USB cable and our radio antenna cable. We're going to have to get the radio a little bit closer to make those connections. So at this point, we can sort of rotate it. And we will plug our USB cable into this 4-pin port back here. We want to make sure that clicks in nicely. And then finally our radio antenna cable. This one goes straight into this green port down here. And then this camera cable, because we're not installing a reverse camera today, we don't need to plug this into anything. So we can just sort of push all that extra cable mass back in. And before we place everything finally, we just want to make sure everything's clear. And this one's only held in by clips, so it should go in nice and easily. We'll start down the bottom with our AC vents, clicking that in, and then up the top here. And then we'll just work the perimeter and make sure everything's in nice and snug. Those air vents are working nicely. It's time to test the system. All right, that system's in and it's looking absolutely fantastic. A really nice fit and finish here. Let's turn it on and test it out. There's our beautiful Subaru boot logo. That's something you will not find anywhere else. And look how snappy that is. Our system's fully loaded and it's jumping straight into radio, but we can press the home button and go back to the main interface. We will first check that our radio antenna is working, so we'll just hit any random station. And we can hear that's working very nicely. Let's mute that for a sec. All our steering wheel buttons are up and running, which is a great sign. We can swap through the radio stations with our steering wheel buttons, which is a nice touch. And now let's hook up a phone to wireless CarPlay. All right, so our units are super easy to pair. All you're gonna do is jump into your phone's Bluetooth settings, and these are discoverable automatically. We can see here, Subaru has popped up. We're just gonna hit that device, and we're gonna hit pair, allow, and there's gonna be one more prompt. We have to make sure we hit connect, and that's it. That's the wireless CarPlay pairing process done. Once you're paired for good. And you can see we're straight into wireless CarPlay. And look how snappy that is. This one's running at 60 frames per second. It looks absolutely fantastic here. We can see all of our steering wheel button controls are working inside of CarPlay as well. We'll go inside of Spotify and just play something to confirm. That's working nicely. We've also got obviously our touchscreen controls to control the music as well. Our mute button's working. Our mode button is set to pause and play. We're all the way up and running in under 45 minutes. As always, we won't spend too much time talking about CarPlay itself because we assume you already know what you're in for, but you've got great apps like Waze, Google Maps, Spotify, Apple Maps. Basically, whatever you've got on your phone will show up inside of CarPlay as long as there's a CarPlay companion app. Now, we'll show you some other stuff. First of which, let's look at full screen Google Maps. It looks really nice on our systems. You can scroll beautiful Brisbane City using your fingers. Now, if we hit the home button inside of CarPlay and then we hit the Subaru button, that'll take us back to the home screen of our systems. Now, there's a few basic functions in here we'll talk about. Music is just a music playing app. If you insert a USB into the USB port that we've installed in the glove box, you can play back music files and you can also play back video files. Pretty old school, but we can still do that with these units. Obviously, radio is just the radio. You can tune to local stations and then save them by holding down the slot. So we've just saved 105.3. Sorry, we had that muted. Anyway, that's how you save radio stations, and you can cycle through them using your steering wheel buttons as well. CarPlay obviously is just wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto as well, self-explanatory. But the one other feature we will show you today is screen mirroring, which is really, really cool. All right, so screen mirroring, super easy to use. We're just gonna make sure we turn off our Bluetooth if we wanna use screen mirroring, and then we're gonna toggle our Wi-Fi setting, and it's gonna tell us it's gonna disconnect CarPlay. We want to disconnect CarPlay, so we're gonna hit disconnect. And now that our Bluetooth is turned off, the wireless CarPlay connection can't occur. So we're gonna hit the home button on our system and then hit screen mirroring. And then it's gonna ask us to connect to the Subaru Air Wi-Fi network. So if we open up our Wi-Fi settings and we wait for the Subaru Air network to appear, there it is down below. You wanna make sure you connect to the one with the Air at the end. Then the password for this is just 8 8s. And then we can hit enter to join. It'll take roughly 5 seconds to join that network, but once we get the blue tick next to the network name, we're connected. And then we can scroll down and we can hit our screen mirroring button here. This is in our iPhone's quick settings, this one that looks like 2 rectangles, and we can see Subaru comes up as an Apple TV. And then once we hit that, a few seconds later, we'll get wireless screen mirroring on our CarPlay system. Have a look at that. And screen mirroring even works with horizontal apps like YouTube, Netflix, KO, all that good stuff. Basically, if it's on your phone, it'll appear on your car screen. And you can see just how responsive that connection is. We're streaming full HD content straight to the screen of our phone, and all the audio is coming through the car speakers. How good's that? Then if we want to disconnect from screen mirroring, we can just scroll down and hit that same button in our quick settings and hit stop mirroring. And then if we re-enable our Bluetooth, the system will automatically default to CarPlay, which we can see has happened without us having to do anything. That's what our units do best, is wireless Apple CarPlay. We know that you guys will be living inside of CarPlay 99% of the time, so we make sure these units do it flawlessly. Took a second there, but we're straight back into wireless CarPlay and snappy as can be. That's pretty much all there is to it, guys. Everything's set up as we want it, and this system looks absolutely fantastic in this 2009 Impreza. It's completely changed the interior of this car, and it's likely going to get a whole bunch of extra use now that the technology's been updated. There you have it, guys. In 45 minutes, we've installed this wireless CarPlay system and we've got it up and running. Super quick, super easy. And if you want to install the exact same system you saw in this video, we sell these on our website, getcartech.com. Now, today's YouTube video, as always, was a bit of an overview. We skipped some boring steps when it comes to the install, but if you purchase the kit from us, you'll receive the exact same thing you see in this video, and you'll receive a link to a private YouTube video where we show you exactly step by step how we install this thing. We don't skip over a single step. We also have our successful install guarantee, so it's a risk-free purchase. We ship these from Australia. We're an Australian company, and we have Australian phone support. We'll see you guys in the next one.